Every leader is thinking about the future. Now that we're pivoting out of the crisis of COVID and things are somewhat normalizing, but you still have all these other events happening across the globe, leaders learned a little bit about the need to continue to emerge in the sense of emerging in a crisis. But now you have crisis after crisis after crisis unfolding. So what was learned during COVID is applying to leaders as they deal with what's happening in this United States, where you just had the hurricanes that decimated parts of the Southeast. You still have the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and other events that are happening across the globe that challenge leaders, no matter where they are in their part of the earth, because it has a cascading effect on their operating of their organizations. The world is hungering for good leadership because of the items that we mentioned already. And you see a younger generation engaged and excited to answer the call for leadership. But you also see that others who have been leading are challenging themselves to emerge in new ways. And so I talk about emerging as a leader, not just emerging leaders. So the emerging leaders tend to be that younger generation, the younger people in an organization or corporation, be it a profit or nonprofit or civic organization, that people have identified as up and coming, who can lead us into a new direction if we invest in them. But at the same time, I'm working with a lot of senior leaders, executives of organizations that are continuing to emerge. They're emerging in new ways, be it that they need to lead a crisis, or as I just experienced in my own organization, you get acquired by another company. And now you have to emerge this new way. You're no longer the top leader. Now you must work with others. So be it for growing an organization's pipeline of talent or maintaining your own competitive advantage as an individual leader, or just simply to be able to execute on a higher level because things continuously change, leaders must continue to emerge and not be complacent.
I love that, Eddie, and I'm going to keep battling through that. It's repeating, but echoing back. But I love that way of thinking about emerging as a leader, and because none of us are perfect, we all make mistakes. Sometimes we've done things wrong, but really, for me, leadership is it's a constant journey. It's not about incidents; it's about the overall journey. And I think you have to. We can only create our own direction in life. We can't attach ourselves to the outcomes. And do you think leaders need to think more like that? That this is not just short term. This is not just about now or this year's revenue. This is a direction they're setting. And sometimes other people have to lead, but that's the job of a leader, is to create the direction. What do you think?
You're absolutely correct there, Simon. When leaders feel that I am not leading because I failed, because I had a bump in the road, no, part of leading is failure, but this thing we call failure is not staying down, but getting up. I forget who said that, but it's the idea that you only avoid failure by doing nothing and by creating nothing. So every leader must be prepared to fail, but I believe it's, I'm forgetting the gentleman, he has a whole book on this, Fail Quickly. Right, you must fail quickly and be able to get up and have a sense of resiliency as a leader.
Every failed deal is the down payment on the next deal, as long as you learn. That's the way I like to look at it. Terry, I'll go on mute.
Yeah, we're all speaking the same lingo, just a little bit different words. And you either learn or you learn. If you latch on to this aspect of failure, or if you feel it's something, not everything works every time. Or the time you did it. So, taking that learning, taking that experience and bringing it forward, not only makes you a better leader, but it makes you a better follower, because you can come back into this humble mode and say, okay, what didn't work? I'm surprised. I don't know how to fix this, guys. What can we do to go forward? And I think that's a very positive way to influence our people.
Well, Ambassador Terry, you make a great point. 2 points there that evade some when they think of the definition of leadership. Number one, some might say that as a leader, there's no need to continue to learn because you've achieved a leadership position. Well, Marshall Goldsmith is famous for his book, What Got You Here Won't Get You There. So to get to the next level, it's incumbent on all leaders to be continuous learners. The other point that you made there that I think is so salient to the conversation is that to be a leader and to be a follower are not two incongruent concepts. In fact, the best leaders learn to follow first, then lead.